Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a massive and honestly absolutely fascinating shift that's been mapped out in the latest PackagFoc 2026 finance trends data. We're talking about the rise of the money robot and how the entire concept of building wealth, and more importantly, sharing that journey, has literally been turned upside down.
Remember the old era? You know, the finance bro flaunting a pristine Lamborghini, swearing they've got this perfect, never-losing portfolio? Yeah, well, that era is officially dead and gone. The 2026 era is defined by money robots and, get this, public failures. Total transparency has completely taken over, and it's evolved into a highly lucrative trend that the data calls automated wealth logs.
And here is the ultimate paradox of how we consume content right now. The absolute highest retention content today, it's literally a screen recording of an automated system losing $50. It's crazy. Viewers just don't want that polished $1 million flex anymore. They actually crave seeing an automated script crash, burn, lose a little cash, and then watching the creator explain exactly why it all went wrong.
Section 1. The mechanism. Systemic income.
To really grasp why this failure-focused content is totally taking over, we have to understand the underlying engine here. The PackAPop report breaks down this concept of systemic income. Look, this isn't just another side hustle, it's a personal infrastructure. In 2026, beginners aren't sitting there manually trading stocks. Instead, they're deploying AI agents to constantly scan the internet for things called arbitrage gaps. Imagine having a system that automatically spots and flips undervalued 2026 era domain names or AI-generated ad space, and it's doing the whole shebang while you're at the gym or fast asleep. They are building machines, not trading time for money.
Now, what's really interesting here is how audiences are reacting to these systems. Videos that feature these build-in-public live money tracker dashboards, they're pulling in a massive 40% higher watch time than your traditional talking head videos. People are just absolutely addicted to watching real-time data flows. So the value for the creator isn't just in the money the system actually makes. The real value is in broadcasting the dashboard itself.
Section 2. The strategy. Authenticity arbitrage. Which brings us to the core secret behind this super high retention content. And it raises a pretty provocative question, right? Why on earth are millions of people tuning in to watch AI bots lose money? Well, the PackAPop data points squarely to one culprit: algorithm fatigue. Look, after a decade of being fed fake perfection and highly curated wins from influencers, audiences are just exhausted. They are actively hunting for reality.
And capturing that raw reality? It is incredibly profitable. $5,000. Let that sink in. That's the YouTube ad revenue generated from a viral video just last month, where a creator's AI bot completely crashed and accidentally spent $200 on the wrong ads. The bot made exactly $0 in actual profit. But because the viewer stayed hooked to watch the failure unfold, the ad revenue from that video's retention yielded $5,000. So the crucial point here is what we call authenticity arbitrage. You're selling the lesson and the messy middle, not just the winning result. A postmortem of a failed experiment gives infinitely more value, education, and engagement to a modern viewer than some fabricated success story ever could. I absolutely love this quote from the source material. You don't have to be a genius, you just have to be a scientist who records their experiments. Honestly, if you're a beginner watching this explainer, that should be incredibly empowering. You do not need a perfect system on day one, you just need the guts to honestly document your journey, including every single bug and crash along the way.
Section 3. The execution. Your 2026 tech stack.
So how do we actually start building this thing? The report outlines a highly approachable 3-step beginner stack to build your very first money robot tonight. Step 1 is the brain. You'll use something like ChatGPT or Claude 2026 to handle the core logic. Step 2 is the hands. These are connector tools like NN or Gumloop that physically move the data and money between your apps. And step 3, pay attention, this is the most critical part, is the guardrail. You need a kill switch script. I really have to explicitly warn you right here. Never, ever automate more money than you are entirely willing to lose. Seriously?
And that is exactly why you must start with a micro test. Please, don't try to automate $1 million right out of the gate. Automate a process that saves you, I don't know, maybe $10 a week. A perfect example from the report is setting up an AI agent to automatically find and apply cashback deals on your groceries. It's a low-risk, safe way to learn exactly how those connector tools move your data and your money. And this brilliantly illustrates who is actually succeeding in this new landscape. It's a complete pattern interrupt.
The most successful automated wealth creators out there, they aren't finance experts. They aren't hardcore coders. They're former teachers and retail workers. Why? Because they are excellent at explaining the why. They know exactly how to break down the complex logic of their systems for everyday people.
Section 4, the transparency hook.
Okay, so once you have your automated system up and running, how do you turn it into a profitable channel? Well, contrast these two titles. If you put out a video saying how to make $1,000, modern viewers are going to scroll right past it. But consider the alternative. I let an AI agent manage my savings for 7 days. Here is the exact moment it almost went to zero. By inviting the audience to look directly over your shoulder at a live data dashboard, you've just created the ultimate hook.
This is the ultimate knowledge sector hack. You're educating your audience in the highly technical future of money while simultaneously entertaining them with your own personal, messy, authentic journey. Building in public and embracing radical transparency, it is simply the absolute fastest way to grow both a channel and a bank account in the US right now.
I want to wrap up this explainer with a really provocative quote straight from the Pack-a-Pop data. The future isn't working for AI, it's AI working for you. Where is your dashboard? It's a massive paradigm shift, guys. So what does your system look like? If you have an idea for a money robot, or hey, if you have a spectacular failure story from your own experiments, drop it in the comments below. We'd love to pull a few of them to debug in a future deep dive explainer. Because in 2026, if you are brave enough to show the world when your systems break, you are going to win.